we've talked about the extreme heat we've experienced lately, and for much of the summer, it didn't really cause too many issues with the power grid, but we saw yesterday just how close that supply and demand line got. And again, ERCOT asking folks to conserve later on today, because the last thing we want before we kick these high temperatures out the door for good is rolling outages.
Yeah, especially with this dangerous kind of heat. You know, we have experienced the complete opposite end, you know, in 2021, whenever it was extremely cold. But now it's extremely hot, and conditions are just dangerous. Today and tomorrow, light winds in place for both days. This is what we're dealing with. An excessive heat warning for most of North Texas. It does include Tarrant, Denton County. It includes Collin County, Rockwall, Kaufman, Dallas, Ellis, Johnson, a majority of North Texas. And just on the outskirts of that, we've got the heat advisory. This is going to be in place until 9. I am expecting this to be extended to include tomorrow as well. And this is why we have a high of 106 today. That would be a record high temperature. 107 on Friday. That would be a record high temperature. After that, we drop to below the century mark, and it looks like the 80s are going to be possible next week, not just for one day, but a few days in a row. Right now, it's 97 degrees, and it already feels like 100 out. When you factor in the humidity, that's the other big factor today, is how humid it is. It's going to make the actual temperature feel a bit hotter. That's why the heat index, we're saying, could climb up to about 110 to 111. Something else to consider when you're out and about today is that we have an air quality alert. This was in place yesterday as well. This is for high levels of pollution. We're already seeing unhealthy air quality. That's 2 steps below good air quality, and this is specifically for sensitive groups, meaning if you have any respiratory issues, you may want to limit your time outside. We'll be dealing with storms tomorrow afternoon as well. This is not for everyone. Most of us will feel the heat tomorrow, and a few of us will see the storms. We have a slight risk for severe weather. It does include portions of Collin, Rockwall, Kaufman County Friday afternoon and evening. That's a level 2 out of 5. The more east you are, the more likely you are to encounter a storm that could contain 60+ mile-per-hour winds or quarter-sized hail and larger. The I-35 corridor counties, that's including Denton County, it's including portions of Wise County, Tarrant, Dallas County, is under a marginal risk. And here's a look at some of that timing. This is Friday late in the day, about 6 or 7. We'll notice some of these thunderstorms moving south of the Red River. It all kind of just depends on where these storms initiate. Then we can better tell where they're going. And as of now, it looks like a big portion of that will be east of the Metroplex late in the evening and into about 9 or 10. And it's because of this high pressure that's bringing in this intense heat. That's going to scoot towards the west. Because of that, we'll be in a northwest flow, meaning some storms that develop north of us get pushed into our area. So not only will we be dealing with the heat, we'll be dealing with the potential for the thunderstorm, especially east of DFW. Now, this is going to continue to push towards the west. It's going to continue to weaken, and it opens up this opportunity for storms to keep rolling in, not just Friday, but also Saturday and Sunday as well. But a better opportunity comes early next week. We have a front that's then going to push into the area. So this is Monday. Look at the high of 91, rain coverage at about 30%. And then on Tuesday, rain coverage goes up to 50% for us. 87 degrees for the high. The high drops even more on Wednesday with a high of 85 degrees. Some much welcomed relief for us, and also some relief from the ongoing drought. This is the best amount of rainfall that we have seen in quite some time. 1 to 2 inches are looking possible, but because of this tricky pattern, you need to keep checking back in with us, because every day will have its own forecasting challenges. Just know that it does look like we're going to see some relief. Quick update on the tropics. We have Hurricane Lee, now a Category 2 with max sustained winds of 105 miles per hour. Current forecast has this turning into a major Category 5 hurricane sometime this weekend. Luckily, it does look to stay north of the Leeward Islands, north of Puerto Rico, but we'll have to wait and see what it does once it gets into those high categories to see how it may impact the East Coast. As of now, no local impacts. We're looking at 80s next week. We'll be back.